Hello and welcome back to BeamNG Drive Monster Trucks, this time for racing here at Arlington. As always, 16 trucks are here to battle each other out for a chance to enter into the finals. Anyway, with this quick little intro out of the way, let's get on to a little demonstration as to how the track will work. Over here we have our trusty CRD chassis over in the red lane. On the opposite end of the stadium is the gray lane. Each truck will start in each lane, and from there they will have to go off the starting line, go over this little jump, and across the finish line. Of course they are not done, that would be way too short. So they'll then have to make this big turn around the track, start going straight once again up the opponent's side, over the finish line once again, before making another turn back into their end. But they're still not done, as they will have to do one more lap of this before they can become the winner. And as always, first across the finish line will be the winner of that round, and the 16 truck will eventually go to 8, 4, 2, and then we will have a winner from there. So, let's get on to round 1 of racing. Our first two competitors up are Gravedigger and Bakugan Dragonoid. Both trucks still seem to be fairly even, although Bakugan pulled a slight lead in the turn. Gravedigger took it wide. Both trucks still seem to be fairly even. With lap 1 done, let's see how it holds up for the next lap. Gravedigger clips the dirt pile. That sends him into a bit of trouble, allowing Bakugan to catch up. Once again, Gravedigger taking it quite wide. That lines him up perfectly for the ramp, and Gravedigger will win round 1. Up next is Fiesta and Obsession. And with one lap completed, it seems Obsession has a slight lead over Fiesta. Fiesta clips the dirt, goes up on 2 wheels, although they took the turn tighter. One final turn to go. Obsession seems to be ahead. Into the final turn, Fiesta hits the dirt once again, and it will be Obsession who takes the win. Up next we have Override and Max D. Coming through the turn here, Max D seems to be ahead of Override. Override going into the track. Max D takes it a bit wide, but still seems to hold a lead. Into the big final turn here, Override goes up on 2 wheels. And with Max D in the lead, it will be Max D who crosses the line first. Up next is Fast Metal and Obsessed. Fast Metal seeming to have the very big lead over Obsessed here. Fast Metal definitely seems to prove themselves fast here. Doesn't look like Obsessed is going to have a lead anytime soon unless Fast Metal messes up in some way. And it looks like it will be Fast Metal who takes the win. Obsessed almost rolls it over, but they recover. Up next is your World Finals Freestyle Champion, Enforcer, and Bad Habit. While Enforcer does have a ticket to the World Finals already, if they win this again, we will still only have one Enforcer, as there aren't really many variants of Enforcer compared to some of these other trucks. If Enforcer does happen to win, then we will have to figure out something else to add another truck to make it a nice even 24. As I say, this Enforcer does have a lead over Bad Habit, but Bad Habit seems to be catching up as Enforcer takes it wide. Both trucks seem to be fairly even. Into the final turn here. And it will be Enforcer who takes the win for round one. Up next is Gravedigger the Legend and King Crunch. Starting up lap 2, Gravedigger the Legend has the lead over King Crunch. King Crunch has a bit of ground to make up here as Gravedigger the Legend enters the final turn. Gravedigger taking it wide. King Crunch also takes it wide, and Gravedigger the Legend will take the win. Up next we have Superman and Hooked. Entering lap 2, Superman and Hook seems to be fairly close, although Superman may have slight lead as they take it wide. Hook takes it tight. Up the next ramp. And into the final turn. Who's it gonna be? It looks like it's gonna be Superman who takes the win here in round 1. Hook goes up on 2 wheels, rolls it over. They seem to have broken their front wheel. And onto the containers they go. Up next is Identity Theft and Monster Energy. Entering the second lap here, once again these two trucks seem fairly close, although Monster Energy just flies right off the track. Seems to give it Identity Theft a bit of an edge here. Seems Monster Energy might have caught up just a little bit to Identity Theft. Into the final turn they go. And it will be Identity Theft who takes the win. Up first for round 1, we have Gravedigger and Obsession. Coming into this turn here, both trucks seem to be fairly equal. Obsession pulls ahead, and it will be Obsession who takes the win. Oh, and they get a little trouble hitting the dirt. Up next is Fast Metal and Max D. Both trucks seem to take it wide in the first turn. A little bit of problems in landing for both trucks. They still seem to be fairly equal. Fast Metal in a bit of trouble. Still seem to hold his own against Max D. Fast Metal's pulled a slight lead over Max D. And Fast Metal will beat Max D across the finish line. Up next is Gravedigger the Legend and Enforcer. Coming up on the second lap here, both trucks seem to be fairly equal, although Gravedigger the Legend might have a slight lead over Enforcer. Coming into the final turn here, Gravedigger the Legend seems to be in a little bit of trouble. Enforcer catches up, and it will be a close race, but Enforcer will take the win. And finally, for round 2 is Identity Theft and Superman. Heading into lap number 2, it seems Identity Theft has quite the lead over Superman. Into the final turn here, Identity Theft with a huge lead, and it will be Identity Theft who moves on to the next round. Alright, here we have the bracket leading into the semifinals. Only 4 trucks remain. One of them will be your champion. Which one is it? Let's move on and find out who that's going to be. Up next is Obsession and Fast Metal. Into the turn here, Fast Metal does seem to have a pretty big lead over Obsession, and it will be Fast Metal who moves on to the final round. And finally, we have your 2 World Finals champions, Identity Theft and Enforcer. The racing champion and the freestyle champion. Which of these 2 will move on? Enforcer having some trouble hitting the dirt. Identity Theft seemed to take it a little bit wide though. Still taking it quite wide. Both trucks still seem to be fairly even coming up the next ramp. Down to the final turn. This will determine who the winner will be. And it's gonna be Enforcer who beats Identity Theft across the line. Over here in the gray lane, we have your World Finals Freestyle Champion, Enforcer. Although they already have their ticket to the World Finals, they're going to have to compete against Fast Metal over here in the red lane, lining themselves up. They did have a bit of a tumble in the last round of racing, but let's see whether Fast Metal can beat a World Finals champion. Here we are, Enforcer, the Freestyle Champion, and Fast Metal, who have the chance at the finals. Let's see who this is going to be. Fast Metal seems to have a slight lead over Enforcer here. And with one more turn to go, Fast Metal has a pretty big lead now. Into the final turn here, and it's gonna be Fast Metal who beats Enforcer. So Fast Metal is gonna have their chance at the finals now. Starting off a little celebratory freestyle here as Enforcer gets themselves back on all four wheels. That's right, Fast Metal here will move to the finals next time we see them. And with that, I hope to see you in the freestyle video. So I'll leave you here with Fast Metal's little celebratory freestyle. And yeah, have a great day.